Facebook marketing because I just wasn't being as effective as it used to be. And I talked to other boot camp owners who were using outside sources for doing ads, and I let headquarters do an ad for me, a 21-day special, and it went the 1st through the 17th, and that's tomorrow. And I think by the time it's over, we're going to keep honoring it through the end of the month. It's going to bring in well over at least 100 people trying us out, because it's a buddy program, so they can either do it by themselves for a 21-day program for $57, or bring a buddy for $77. And so far we have, I think, I don't have the numbers right in front of me, but like between 50 and 70 people that are actually doing the boot camp. So that was kind of overwhelming, and that showed some glitches in our systems that we need to fix. But I think by the end of the month, it'll easily generate about 100 bodies coming through the door. So I think that'll be good.
Yeah, so you're happy with that. So, it's like what Keith was mentioned in a Facebook post last week. He's using this company called Gym Builder to run Facebook ads for him, and they're taking 60%. There's like a Groupon on Facebook, essentially. They put drive people to you, and when those people buy, they take a percentage of what they buy from you. So they're taking 60% up front, which is pretty serious. But it could work. It could be fine. It all depends, and the situation is going to be the same for you. It all depends on what happens with the conversions, because you don't want to just churn. If these folks, even if you're profitable on the front end with these folks, if you're only getting 10, 20%, I mean, I don't know, you got to look at that. Maybe 10 to 20% retention works for you. But yeah, you're going to need to know. Maybe you'll retain a lot more. Maybe it'll be 50 to 70%. Everything will be good. But that's really the metric you got to look at, is your retention.
Right.
Yeah.
And we just finished a 6-week challenge, and we had an end-in party, like an after party in the back room of a restaurant. And community.
You're breaking up, Wayne. We're losing you, brother. You're breaking up.
Sorry.
That's all right. Try again. You had a party?
Right now. Party for the end of this lunch. And about right now, but about 50 of those people joined full member. That was good. But I think the short-term coach is having luck with the 30-day program.
All right, Wayne, we're going to come back to you because it's too choppy. I can't hear what you're saying. It's breaking up a little bit. But Chris, along those lines, are you still doing all your own Facebook ads?
Yeah, I'm doing everything myself.
And you still happy with the results you're getting?
Yeah, well, we'll have a better idea here in the next couple months, because before we were not tracking our numbers with that really. We were sort of just firing out ads and, leads were coming in, but we really never had any sort of metric to measure lead conversion, right? So that's what Camille and I are working on right now. So now every lead that comes in the door, my admin is putting that in a spreadsheet. Now we're really starting to see the story of what's happening with those leads. And it's looking like our lead conversion has honestly not been that great. So what we've identified over the last month or so is that there's a problem in our sales funnel. So I had like 52 plus leads come in last month when we started tracking, and but only 4 of those actually went to consult. So we backed up completely. That's what I've been doing over the last 2 weeks, really, is we backed up completely right up to, checking to make sure that we're advertising to the right customer, making sure we're putting it out to the right people, right message. And then once they actually raise their hand of interest and they're calling in or walking in, how are they being pre-qualified? And we've identified a bunch of breakdowns there. The pre-qualification had to be revamped and tightened down, retraining to be done there, and right through to the presentation for the consultation for the sales process. So that's kind of what we've been doing. So over the next month or two, we'll have a much better idea of how those Facebook ads are really doing.
Yeah.
But that's what's fed us over the last, 18 months is all Facebook ads, and I've been doing it myself.
Yeah. I'm going to post it in the group here shortly, but there's I'm starting to watch the video of Ryan Dice at Traffic and Conversion Summit 2018. His keynote presentation, they've released that on their blog, and it's fascinating. And it's interesting because he's saying a lot of the things that we've all been talking about as a group for the last year about how challenging it's becoming with the Facebook, and how that challenge is only going to get more severe. So it's really going to be important to do exactly what you just talked about, which is really dial in that you're tracking and get really comfortable with those numbers. You're going to have to know them, otherwise it's just going to be kind of throwing mud against the wall, and you'll end up losing money. There's no doubt about it, because it's getting more and more competitive. And that's why some of these you see these folks coming out of the woodwork, these marketing agencies, Facebook marketing agencies, they're just everywhere. I've seen business opportunities now where they're selling you into this business opportunity, like, oh, I'll teach you how to become a Facebook marketing agency. It's such a big business now. But you're successful with running your own ads. That's great. But like you said, you got to watch the numbers.
Yeah, and it definitely has changed, because it was much more successful a year ago, or 18 months, even 2 years ago, much more so than it is now. It's a lot harder to get leads to come in now.
Yeah, I hear you. And that's, the whole premise of the referral challenge is to try and find an alternate solution. And I think we're still struggling with that. It's clearly, I think, referrals, they're helping, but I got to find ways to make them do more than help. Got to, become a more significant and reliable lead source. But I just don't know. Right now, I'm a little, I don't know that generating referrals from customers is going to ever be really reliable. I think it'll be, we can increase the flow of it, but I don't know that it's something that we can ever really rely on. And that's why I think local by referral, I think the partnering piece is the solution, because that can be reliable. It can be sort of a managed lead source, where your partners are required to refer to you just as you are to them. So anyway, because we got to find solutions. The bottom line is, I think, business, and you, Aaron, we're just talking about, have you seen Ryan Dice's keynote presentation yet at Traffic and Conversion?
No, sir.
Yeah, okay. He released it on his blog. I just started watching it. One of the things that he talks about in there that I just got to, the portion I just got to, which is fascinating, is this artificial intelligence piece, where he said AI is here and big businesses are already using it, and he explained how they're using it with their advertising and how it's just a huge supercomputer that's sucking in all this data, and it's fine-tuning the targeting and the message and everything so that their ads are just popping. And it's super expensive to do, but it's also, you can't compete against it. And so it's like whoever, these are big businesses, but once that trickles down to medium-sized businesses and ultimately to smaller businesses, which it will, everything just gets harder and harder and harder in that advertising space. So there's got to be, relationships is the answer as far as I see it. Anyway, a bit of a rant, but we just got to figure this out, because we're all, Chris, you're going to be in business for another 30 years. There's got to be an answer.
Yeah.
Anyway, Aaron, good to see you, brother. Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Number 38.
38.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's incredible that my woman would put up with me that long. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, no doubt.
Uh,
No doubt.
you don't have to be so heartily agreeable about it, Eric. I mean, my God.
Well, I know you pretty well, brother. Yeah. Good for you, man. Congratulations. That's wonderful.
Yeah, thank you.
Chris, what else is going on? What anything that you want to dig into that we can maybe work on?
Yeah, I think that's really the biggest thing that I've had going on is just revamping the sales process and just getting back to basics with getting people into driving everybody to consults. So we talked about it in a previous call, leading off with the trial for a little while there. We're leading off with the trial experience, and then halfway through or at the end of the trial, then going to consult, and that's just seeming to be breaking down. So we just went back to what we've always done over the years, and that's just pre-qualifying hard on the front end and driving everybody who pre-qualifies to the consultation. So that's kind of really what our focus has been, and now that's pretty much all done and cleaned up. Retraining's been done. Camelia's going to do she's going to do a secret shopper and call in to my admin and make sure she's on point, and then so outside of that, now I got to get digging back into marketing because I've been so focused on fixing the sales for the last week or so. I shut the marketing down a little bit to get that squared away. Now I got to get back in it. So that's really where my focus is now, just getting the Facebook ads up and running again. And I'm going to do the tax day campaign again. A few other things. And I really want to get a challenge going, that challenge that you posted up on the for the Smart Start group. So that's been better. Engagement's been a lot better there. I've been really consistently doing my videos, the Ask the Expert live videos. I just had a block of time out and just, consistently stick to that schedule time every week. So Thursday nights, 6:15, I'm there. And now I got more people jumping on with me every week and asking questions. So it's starting to pick up some steam there with engagement again. So I'm excited about that.
Well, that's awesome. And I am too, just to hear it, because I think there's only a handful of folks, you're one of them, who are actually pursuing this actively and consistently. And I'm glad to hear it, because it's just like anything else. Where you put your focus and your efforts, you're going to reap results, unless the strategy is just completely flawed. And I think we're all agree this is not a flawed strategy. It just needs some fine tuning and some love and TLC, but not too much. That's the whole secret, right? I mean, we've got to figure out how you can do it effectively, not just by dumping in a bunch of time. But I'm glad to hear you're getting traction. And I think this is the way Alicia told me, she was on the cutting edge when she launched her group a couple years ago and grew it. But and again, I got to get her on to do it. But she talks about how it was a bit of work there in the early going, but then it hit a sort of a critical mass and things just took off almost organically. And hopefully that's what's going to happen here. Because community, that's another interesting piece Zuckerberg was talking about. Actually, Wayne, if you can hear me, Wayne sent me a cool article that I'll post in the group too. It's a quote from Mark Zuckerberg in this article where he's talking about how they had this, the communities, there's a few million groups on Facebook, and how those communities have been so important, not just for Facebook, but for the communities themselves. And it indicates, how people want to be part of a community, because we're becoming as a society, becoming more of a cocooning, which is a term that they threw out years ago. And, but we do it, and this is, having these communities is a way for us to break out of the cocoon and really interact with people in a social way, even if it's online. So it's an important phenomenon, is what I'm getting at, and we just have to figure out how to make it work for us. And I think we're moving that way. It sounds like you are. And just give me feedback though, if you encounter stuff and you like, man, it would be better if we could do this or that or whatever, because you're on the front lines. Let me know, and we'll do whatever we can to help you and provide you with tools and things like that.
Yeah, I think just right now it's just an engagement thing. I was mentioning this before. Most of the engagement has been either current members of mine now and or previous members who have come and gone that are still staying connected. So I really would like to just start seeing you know, some new folks engaging with me. So that's really kind of what we're looking for.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. I wonder what it's going to take to get them engaged, you know. It's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. I mean, I'm sure they're looking and watching, just maybe not posting, you know. So
yeah. I know there's got to be I mean, there is some intimidation, I'm sure, and just uncertainty, you know. But yeah, we'll have to figure that one out. I don't know. It's challenging.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else though, Chris? Anything else we can discuss, work on?
No, I think I'm pretty good right now.
All right. Wayne, are you there? Do you have anything else you want to talk about, or if you can talk? No. All right. Aaron, anything on your end you want to discuss? Oh, there's Wayne.
No.
Wayne, is there anything you want to talk about?
No, I said everything I needed to say a while ago.
All right, cool. I appreciate it. Again, like I said, thank you for the feedback, and we'll get this. Yeah. All right. That's all. I'm not going to go on another rant. I feel like I could. I got the energy for it, but I'm not going to do it.
It's nice to hear, though, dude. It's nice to hear that you're full of energy nowadays.
Yeah. No, it's been a game changer for me. This whole thing that I talked about before. It's good. Okay. I guess that's it then. We'll go ahead and wrap up, you guys. We'll just keep it short and sweet. But thank you. I appreciate you showing up for the call, and we'll just see you on Facebook.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for your time, Aaron. Thanks.
Okay.
See you, Chris.
Bye.